nation. Last year, Tavis ranked number 33, and the year before, number 45. The Tavis Smiley Show has rapidly expanded its national syndication to now include nearly 50 radio stations across the country and counting. Congratulations, Tavis.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Keep on. Never say die. Keep on. Like this. Keep on. Never say die. Keep on. Like this. Never say die. Never say die. Keep on. Never say die. Like this. Never say
In the midst of sorrow, you can see up and down. A brighter day tomorrow will bring. Oh, you hear the voice of reason telling you this can never be done. No matter how hard reality seems, just hold on to your dreams, yeah. As long as you keep your head to the sky, can we? As long as you keep your head to the sky, you can win. As long as you keep
You are listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. I'm Dr. Nii-Quartelai Quartey, your host and White House correspondent, not at the White House, in sunny LA, but always in touch. I'm in touch, and so you be in touch. Be sure to follow me on all the social media platforms at Dr. Nii-Quartelai. That's Dr. Nii-Q. Just type in Dr. Nii-Q, DRNIIQ, and there I am, fresh for you to follow. Also, be sure to download the KBLA app to listen to us live or on demand. Or if you're feeling fancy, you can just tell Alexa, play KBLA Talk 1580. And there we are for your listening pleasure. Last but not least, be sure to subscribe to A More Perfect Union podcast. That way you'll never miss an episode. You'll never miss an episode. You know, you can listen to us while you're shopping in the grocery store, while you're laying out on the beach, while you're taking a hike. You can have us right there and get a chance to tap in to people that are shaping our culture with experts are offering the kind of analysis that helps us to make it make sense when it makes sense. Now, with that, it's time for your national news roundup. It's time for you to decide the good, bad, and ugly headlines of the day. And kicking us off, you might want to hear this. The FDA is warning the public not to eat possibly radioactive shrimp sold at Walmart. That's what the FDA is saying. ABC News reporting that the Food and Drug Administration is warning the public not to eat or serve certain great value raw frozen shrimp sold at Walmart due to possible contamination with cesium-137. It's a radioactive isotope. The U.S. Customs and Border Protection alerted the FDA about a possible CS-137 detected in shipping containers at 4 U.S. ports. Testing on frozen shrimp from the distributors. Indonesia's BMS Foods also tested positive. However, no shrimp that has tested positive for cesium-137 has entered the U.S. food supply, according to the FDA. The FDA is still recommending a recall on all products from BMS Foods that were shipped after the company's shipping containers tested positive for cesium-137, even though the products themselves have not tested positive. The Following Great Value brand frozen shrimp products should not be eaten, sold, or served. Great Value brand frozen raw shrimp. Lot code 8005540-1. Best by date 3/15/27. Also, lot code number 8005538-1. Best by date 3/15/2027. And also lot code 8005539-1. Best by date 3/15/27. So if you have any of those in your freezer, don't eat it. Take it back. Take it back. It's being recalled. We like our shrimp, but we like our health even more than our shrimp. Moving along, U.S. pediatricians' new COVID-19 shot recommendations differ from CDC advice. The Associated Press and the GRIO reporting that for the first time in 30 years, the American Academy of Pediatrics is substantially diverging from U.S. government vaccine recommendations. The group's new COVID-19 recommendations released today come amid a tumultuous year for public health as vaccine skeptics have come into power in the new Trump administration, and government guidance has become increasingly, that's right, you guessed it, confusing. This isn't going to help. Acknowledged by Dr. James Campbell, Vice Chair of the AAP Infectious Disease Committee. The AAP is strongly recommending COVID-19 shots for children ages 6 months to 2 years. Shots also are advised for older children if parents want their kids vaccinated. And so, look, we knew where they stood during the election, and here they are following through on what they say they stood for. So no surprise there. When we come forward, you might be surprised because Matt Frazier, as in the psychic medium, he's joining us here. You don't want to miss my conversation with him right here on A More Perfect Union.
You're listening to A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Want to extend that barbershop shave at home? Try Gillette Skin Guard, designed specifically for men who battle shaving irritation. With this irritation defense bar, 2 comfort blades, and a touch of aloe, it helps avoid shaving bumps and irritation, leaving me looking my best. I find it perfect for when I need a clean, fresh look, especially between barber visits. Tailored for black men, it's easy to use and offers the comfort my skin deserves. Stay confident between cuts with Gillette Skin Guard.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part, they accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right. So we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you, when we fight, we win. The Youth Justice Coalition is challenging America's addiction to incarceration and discrimination. YJC works to dismantle policies leading to mass incarceration, law enforcement violence, and the school-to-prison pipeline. Their approach, transformative justice, community intervention, free LA high school, legal defense, and system monitoring. YJC promotes safety without relying on prisons. Their goal, prevent system contact and help people exit the system through direct action, advocacy, and education. Want to get involved or need help? Call 323-235-4243. That's 323-235-4243. Join YJC in creating change. When we fight, we win. KBLA Talk 1580, your voice for justice. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Are you ready to be a part of the conversation that will help shape our nation's future? Get ready to join us for the Left Coast Forum, Saturday, October 25th at LA Trade Tech, where progressive voices will come together to tackle the issues that matter most to working families across Los Angeles and beyond. From economic justice to climate action, from healthcare to housing, we're bringing together the brightest minds and most passionate advocates for real solutions and real change. With workshops, 2 major keynote addresses, and a closing reception with great music and good food. It's the Left Coast Forum, where your voice matters and your ideas take action. Saturday, October 25th at LA Trade Tech. Brought to you by KBLA Talk 1580 and the LA Progressive. The future won't wait, and neither should you. Mark your calendar now to be there and be heard. Stay tuned to KBLA Talk 1580 for more details.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Autopsy Initiative provides a second autopsy free of charge for victims' families who have lost their loved ones due to a police-related death. The services offered through the initiative include the completion of a second autopsy, disclosure of preliminary findings, and a final autopsy report. A police-related death is when an individual is harmed by police officers using deadly force, which results in an individual's death. Police-related death includes in-custody deaths, including those that arise during contact with law enforcement officers during arrest, pursuit, booking, transport, or incarceration. The Autopsy Initiative has a team of board-certified pathologists on call. An autopsy request may be completed by anyone with a close relationship with the victim, which may include the victim's spouse, partner, relative, close friend, or lawyer. To request a free second autopsy for a victim of police violence, please visit knowyourrightscamp.com. That's knowyourrightscamp.com. Then click on Autopsy, then click on Request. At KBLA, we believe in justice for victims of police violence. We say their names, and we don't black down. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
We have no permanent friends or permanent enemies. Only permanent interests. As we effort to build a more perfect union.
You are listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. We have a little bit of a technical challenge, but don't you worry. We're going to make sure that we bring that interview with Matt Frazier to you in short order as soon as we can. But we're going to switch things around a little bit and instead share with you some of the conversation I had with comedian Nate Jackson. Nate Jackson, of course, has a very popular special that is trending on Netflix. Let's all do our part to make it number one. I had a chance to catch up with him and talk a little bit about his comedy special and some of the success that he's having. And life as not just a comedian that is on fire, but as an emerging influencer in the industry. And so take a listen to my conversation with the one, the only, Nate Jackson.
Eye-opening, heart-rendering. This is where authentic voices meet powerful discussions on culture, community, and change. This is where Black voices matter. He's breaking boundaries, amplifying diverse perspectives, and tackling the issues that matter most to you. You're inside A More Perfect Union with Dr. Nii-Quartelai Quartey on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. Construction is underway on Chicago's airport O'Hare's new Concourse D, a $1.3 billion project with 19 gates, expanded lounge and commercial space, and a children's play area. Black Mayor Brandon Johnson joined officials for the groundbreaking.
With the improvements that we will make in Concourse D alone, we are generating more than 3,800 construction jobs.
The project is set to finish in late 2028. Rapper Memphis Bleek is sparking buzz about new Jay-Z music after revealing on Drink Champs he asked for a verse during a recent Vegas run-in. The two have not collaborated in 20 years, and Jay-Z has not dropped an album in 8. And Black New Orleans Mayor LaToya Cantrell is facing federal charges including conspiracy, wire fraud, and obstruction of justice. Her administration says city services remain fully operational, and she's focused on her job but will not comment further until attorneys review the case. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Slowing down in Sylmar, 5 northbound. This is getting away from the 5 merge, or make that the 405 merge all the way to the 14. Santa Clarita, 14 northbound delays leaving the 5, looking a lot better past Placerita Canyon Road. Porter Ranch, eastbound side of the 118, delays from DeSoto, looking better by Rinaldi. And the drive in Pasadena, East 210, delays from Mountain all the way to Citrus.
You deserve a car that thrills you, a car that puts goosebumps on your goosebumps. At Nissan, they've got everything from turbocharged SUVs to 100% electric vehicles that'll make your heart beat faster. Experience the thrill for yourself. Shop your local Nissan store and NissanUSA.com today.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
5 HBCU football programs and their school are about to get some major exposure thanks to ESPN. The network is doing live broadcasts of the highly popular First Take show on 3 HBCU campuses and 1 in Birmingham, Alabama. The Birmingham broadcast, scheduled for October 24th, coincides with the Magic City Classic on October 25th between Alabama State and Alabama A&M. First Take is hosted by celebrity sports journalist Stephen A. Smith and Molly Curran. Stephen A. is an HBCU grad from Winston-Salem State University. The other dates for live broadcasts on an HBCU campus include August 28th at Norfolk State, October 29th at Delaware State, and November 20th at Bethune-Cookman. First Take is a live 2-hour show that airs Monday through Friday on ESPN, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Pacific time. The show is repeated at 9 a.m. on ESPN2. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Break out the champagne. Everybody get a glass.
Tavis Smiley is now ranked number 16 nationally and the highest rated talk show hosted by an African American on the 2025 Talkers Heavy 100 list of the most important talk radio hosts in the nation. Last year, Tavis ranked number 33 and the year before, number 45. The Tavis Smiley Show has rapidly expanded its national syndication to now include nearly 50 radio stations across the country and counting. Congratulations, Tavis.
Yay!
JP Morgan Chase offers tips for the local business owners in 2025. Small business landscape is ever changing, and the Los Angeles market is no exception. A startup or legacy business, revisiting your mission statement and recalibrating offerings can renew opportunities for growth and innovations. Programs like Chase for Business Coaching for Impact gives entrepreneurs access to expert guidance, helping you streamline operations, strategize your growth, and navigate complex challenges. Businesses with a clear sense of purpose can navigate any challenge effectively, but also build stronger customer loyalty. Visit chase.com/coaching for impact for more information. This segment is sponsored by JP Morgan Chase.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27 and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Susan, I'm sorry I'm late. Traffic is terrible.
It sure is. But on top of that, gas prices have been skyrocketing. I can't believe how expensive gas has gotten recently.
Prices at the pump are up, but I never pay full price for gas anymore. I just use the free Upside app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
And does that actually add up to anything?
I've made around $200.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code GOLD for an extra 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first fill up. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code GOLD for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code GOLD for 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first fill up.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-729-7070. That's 1-800-729-7070. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-729-7070. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Fabric Talk. Hello, my love. I am your living room carpet. I see everything. I feel everything. After a while, I smell like everything, including Sir Pickles, who you snuggle with while binging that dating show you can't stop watching. So, how about we freshen things up with Febreze fabric spray? Oh, and a big spray for my pals, couch and ottoman. Ah, yes, refreshing. Breathe happy, Febreze. La 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 la.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Los Angeles Regional Food Bank is on a mission to fight hunger and provide nutritious food to those in need across our community. They partner with federal, state, and local programs advocating for better policies and funding for critical hunger relief programs like Cal Fresh, the Emergency Food Assistance Program, and the Child and Adult Care Food Program. The food bank works with coalitions and local representatives to make sure hunger is addressed in every district of LA County. They also run nutrition education campaigns, raise hunger awareness, and source nutritious food for distribution, all while supporting regulations that allow food pantries to operate safely. Want to help? Visit lafoodbank.org or call 323-234-3030 to volunteer or find a food bank near you. Together, we can ensure that no one goes hungry in Los Angeles County. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
Hit me!
National news of consequence, informed opinion, and analysis beyond the headlines. You're listening to A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580.
You are listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. I'm Dr. Nii-Quartelai Quartey, and really delighted to welcome back to the show one of our favorite contributors, Desiree Cormier-Smith. She is the co-founder of the Alliance for Diplomacy and Justice. She's also a former special representative over at the U.S. State Department, a special representative for racial justice and diplomacy there. Welcome back to the show, Desiree.
Thank you for having me. It's good to be back.
Well, thank you for being here. There is a clip that is going viral on social media. It involves a phone call from former Vice President Kamala Harris to one of the Texas state Dems, one of the sisters that is putting her body on the line. Take a listen to that very special call with Vice President Harris.
In those who should have it. And you really are inspiring so many people. And I just want you to know that you are among those who history will reveal to have been heroes of this moment. So you just stay strong and do what you are doing. You have the right instinct, you are talented, and you are principled.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. I can't tell you how much this means to me and the community that I represent, that you care. You took the time to pay attention to the people, and that matters. It really matters. Thank you. Thank you.
You just be strong, okay?
Yes,
and just know, even though I know you're in there by yourself, you're taking a stand by yourself. I think some of your colleagues have joined you. But you just remember, when you're in those rooms and it feels like you're the only one there, we are all in that room with you. And so any moment where you feel alone, you do not feel alone. You've got to know we are all there with you, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All
Strong.
right, my dear.
Thank you.
Stay strong.
Yes.
Okay, I'll see you later.
All right, take care.
You can reach out anytime. Take care.
All right, bye-bye.
And that was
amazing. The fact that she is watching what we're doing right now in this moment means that we are making a difference. What we do matters. People are watching and they are ready to hold this government accountable. Get fired up, get ready, and vote. Let's do it. Oh my gosh, I'm just overwhelmed, you guys. I'm overwhelmed. I'm so grateful.
so Desiree, what's your reaction? What's your reaction to Sister Representative Nicole in Texas, hearing from VP Harris and being reminded that so many of us are in that chamber with her?
Yeah. What a beautiful call, and what a beautiful way to remind her that she's not alone and that she's doing the right thing. Because in moments like that, where she's literally the only one, I'm sure it feels scary, right? I'm sure she's also doubting whether or not she's doing the right thing, whether it's making a difference, or if, it's all for nothing. So I think it was quite powerful for former Vice President Harris to reach out to affirm her and to encourage her to keep going. I also want to point out, though, that the sole state legislator who had the courage to say no.
Go ahead, say it, Desiree. Tell the people, Desiree. Tell the people.
And it's always a Black woman who will put our body on the line, who will be the sole voice and say, no, this is wrong. No, I'm not going to do it, even if I'm the only one. And so I also want to name that, because far too often it falls on the shoulders of Black women to try and save this country.
I mean, it's not lost on me, and I'm sure so many of our leaders, learners, and listeners, you consider the sacrifice that former Vice President Kamala Harris made. I mean, quite frankly, it was not the most politically popular decision for her as the vice president to step in when former President Biden stepped out of the race for re-election, right? There are a lot of folks that said then that this is not a slam dunk, right? And there are a lot of folks that saw that as, if she were to lose, and clearly she did, there would be a political price to pay in terms of her future, right? And so I take your point in terms of, Black women, sacrificing themselves, in order to help make us a more perfect union. And so seeing, the now former Democratic nominee for president in conversation with Texas State Representative Nicole Collier, who literally just slept in the chamber last night.
Yeah, but she was the only one.
The only one. And so help me understand that math. How is it that she was the only one to say, I am a grown woman, I was duly elected, right. I am not going to sign some permission slip in order to give me the ability to be able to walk in and out of this chamber. It is 2025, not 1925, not 1825, right? Help me understand, why you think other members of the Texas State House, Democratic members, why did they sign the permission slip and she didn't?
That's a great question. I don't know. I mean, I think it's a question worth asking them, right? They should be forced to answer that and answer to their constituents who wanted them to hold the line. And you know what? I think this shows that courage is contagious, right? She was the only one, but now that she's getting national attention, look, there are others who are joining her. look, there are others who are, helping her on her live stream. It just takes one to be courageous. And then others will say, okay, yeah, it's not so scary. I could do it. And so, it feels like they're jumping on the bandwagon because she's getting this attention. But if that's what it takes to actually get elected officials to do their job and represent the people and the democracy that they are sworn to protect, then I'll take it. But I do think it's important to point out the fact and name the fact that it was a Black woman who was the individual courageous person to say, no, this is not a democracy. This is not what I was elected to do.
Now, Desiree, what do you say to critics that believe that the Texas State Dems surrendered too soon? There's some folks out there saying, how do we fight when they've surrendered? And a lot of folks calling attention to the idea that if they believe their cause was just when they fled, then why didn't they hold the line until the fight was won, or at least until a real compromise was secured? What do you say to critics out there that raise that argument?
I mean, it's a good question, right? And I think it should be, I think the folks who are elected, who did capitulate, should be confronted with these questions. I always say I'm a policy nerd. I'm not a politician. I'm not a political expert. I know policy, but I also know that we're not going to be able to pursue policies to promote equity and promote the well-being of all people if we can't even use the political power that we have. So I do think it's worth asking all of these tough questions to the representatives in Texas, who at first were putting up a good fight. But, I think we have to have a longer attention span if we're going to have any hope of defeating fascism and defeating authoritarianism and protecting our democracy and protecting our rights. We're going to have to steel ourselves and steel our spines. We can't just give up when it gets hard.
Yeah. Well, again, shout out to Texas State Rep Nicole Collier of Fort Worth, Texas. She said in an interview earlier today that she would sleep on the House floor until Labor Day if she had to. Since Monday, Representative Collier has entered a new existence, eating and sleeping and working from the locked chamber.
Wow.
After she refused to acquiesce to Republican demands that Democrats agreed to around-the-clock security escorts to be released from the building. Now she's the subject of an around-the-clock live video feed at her own party's choosing. This afternoon, Representative Collier's colleagues returned to the State House to stand with her in solidarity. But again, the question remains, why are y'all standing with her on the outside?
Right.
I mean, what an experience. I mean, willing to sleep and eat in the chamber until Labor Day?
Someone has to do it. And clearly no one else has the courage to do it. So I really commend her, and I'm grateful for leaders like her who have the courage to be the only one to say no.
Well, in other news, we don't see many folks in corporate America saying no to the U.S. government sort of encroaching on their business. NBC News reporting that the U.S. is seeking an equity stake in Intel. At least that's what Commerce Secretary Lutnick is saying. The U.S. government aims to take an equity stake in Intel. Lutnick added that the U.S. government would not get a voting stake with the investment or the rights to direct the company's operation. Intel has struggled to keep up with rival chip makers, and in stock, which has been up and down all year, it rose 7% today as investors hailed the news. Now, help me understand, why is this something that Wall Street hails under a Republican president?
Right.
But under a Democratic president, if there's any talk of bailouts, for example, folks get real anxious and want to know all the details. And it's worth noting that wasn't that long ago where we're having a similar conversation about TikTok,
right?
About the federal government sort of, potentially owning a stake in TikTok. And so, how is this argument for the federal government having a stake in private companies or in public companies, how is this able to stand, especially from a party that seems to rail against anything that smells like socialism?
I don't know. And I can't make it make sense because it doesn't, because it is so inconsistent, right? And so hypocritical for those who supposedly believe in small government to now be proposing that the government take a stake in a privately owned company. And again, as you point out, when Democrats do anything similar, then it's communism, then it's socialism, then it's, it's a five fire alarm, right? So I mean, you can't make it make sense because there is no consistency here. It is, do as I say, not as I do. And it's, the rules are clearly different for some folks. And we see that throughout their policies, where folks can do some mental gymnastics to justify the things that they're doing, when just a few months ago, they were railing against very similar things.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. And well, I would say it does make sense in that it's hypocrisy.
Oh, 100%. Right.
That's what this is. And, for the folks out there who says, you know what, I'm really, in agreement with Trump in terms of the government is doing too much. I'm really in agreement with Trump around the government should be more efficient, should be run more efficiently. But just take a look around.
Right.
Take a look around, right? Do you really want to have a government that is owning stakes in privately held businesses? Do you really want to have a government that is federalizing the National Guard willy-nilly, right? And having them stop our fellow Americans, stop our neighbors, on public roadways, turning them into checkpoints. I mean, I just saw in Washington, D.C. video of H Street Northeast, not far from Union Station, not far from where I live in Washington, D.C., where there are these checkpoints that have been set up, and people are being pulled over, and, it is a solution looking for a problem, right? There's it's not like you have, drunk drivers and they have these security checkpoints set up. No. They're looking for expired tags. They're looking for discrepancies in your registration and your driver's license. Do you have a tail light? They're looking for a reason, in other words. They're looking for a reason to criminalize people in certain parts of town.
Right.
All underwritten by our tax dollars.
And I cannot emphasize this enough, how much of a waste of resources this is. I drove by Union Station today, and there were 3 tanks out there and a dozen National Guards literally just sitting around like this. And I couldn't help but to think how ridiculous they must feel. What a waste of their time. I mean, these are people that have full-time jobs and have signed up for the National Guard to help in case of emergency. This is not an emergency. This is a fabricated emergency that doesn't even exist. I mean, the facts do not back this up. There's no need for this. It was so ridiculous. I had to take a picture of it because these tanks and these soldiers are literally sitting there doing what? Protecting the people waiting for Uber? Like, it's such a waste of money, and it's so silly, and it is just concerning. I mean, people should really be upset and concerned about this, not only for the wastefulness, right, for a government that quote unquote cares about efficiency, but also why he's doing this, right? Why is this administration so intent on showing military force on American soil?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
really scare everyone.
I mean, I think part of what they've been very skilled at doing is creating this sense of inevitability, right?
Yes.
And so, if I create a boogeyman,
yeah,
and if I use all the tools at my disposal to substantiate my big lie, quite frankly, that there's a boogeyman, right? If I do that, then I can get people to behave differently. I can get lawmakers, certainly on the state and local level, to give in to my desires. And so already, for example, we're seeing in Washington, D.C., that the chief of police put out an executive order that basically says that D.C. police officers will now cooperate with the feds, when it comes to reporting undocumented folks that they encounter, right? And so, this president's efforts, he wasn't even a week in to these efforts, and already that is a huge concession that he has won, through this sort of cosplay that's taking place in our nation's capital. When we come forward, I want to give you the opportunity to sort of share the quiet part out loud as it relates to this DC police takeover and where you see things trending. I for one, am wondering, well, what happens when there is a real emergency? We know, for example, there is a hurricane that is brewing in the Atlantic, right? What happens when we need the National Guard to be deployed to support our fellow Americans in harm's way?
Right.
You got governors sending hundreds of members of their National Guards to Washington, D.C. What happens when we have a real emergency?
Yeah.
What happens to all the resources that are, to your point, being wasted in this moment? And so when we come forward, I want to give you a chance to respond to that and share the quiet part out loud. You are listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580.
Striving to make America a nation as good as its promise. This is A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Imagine a world without heart disease and stroke, where every person has the chance to live a full and healthy life. Join us for a walk to save lives at the American Heart Association's Greater Los Angeles Heart and Stroke Walk, Saturday, September 20th at the Rose Bowl. Every step made and every dollar raised means more people learning CPR, more life-saving research, and more time with the ones we love. Sign up at heartwalkla.org. The LA Heart and Stroke Walk is sponsored by Optum, UCLA Health, Keck Medicine of USC, and Dignity Health.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27 and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Worried about eviction? You have rights, and Stay Housed LA can help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between LA County, the City of Los Angeles, and local service providers. From Lancaster to Long Beach, we're here to help you with tenant education workshops, legal clinics, free legal services for eligible tenants, and online resources about tenant protection laws. Don't face eviction alone. Call our hotline at 1-888-694-0040. That's 1-888-694-0040. Or visit stayhousedla.org. Stay Housed LA, keeping Los Angeles residents in their homes. Stay Housed LA, your rights, your home, our community. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, Black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
Notable journalists, industry leaders, lawmakers, change makers, tastemakers, and you, working to build a more perfect union on KBLA Talk 1580.
You are listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. I'm Dr. Nii-Quartelai Quartey, and she is Desiree Cormier-Smith, the co-founder of the Alliance for Diplomacy and Justice, a former official at the U.S. State Department, someone who is just as disappointed as I am in what's happening in our nation's capital, what's happening in Chocolate City, how not just Black folks, but how so many of our fellow Americans are being treated.
Yeah.
And, you know, as I look at what's happening in Washington, D.C., as I think about what the president said from the Oval Office during his meeting with President Zelensky of Ukraine about wanting to get rid of vote by mail and wanting to get rid of certain voting machines in U.S. elections. When I think about the federal overreach that's afoot in terms of this president, this White House, federalizing the National Guard and bringing them into Washington, D.C., their brazen attempt to take over the D.C. Police Department. I mean, all of this has happened within the past week or two. This is just the past week or two, right? These are challenging times. They're perilous times for our country. And if this administration is successful in their work in Washington, D.C., you better believe it is coming to a city near you. It, to me, looks like the makings of an apartheid state. What does it look like to you?
Well, it definitely looks like democratic decline, right? Again, as a foreign policy wonk, this is most concerning to me because it follows the same playbook that we've seen around the world. And so many activists and scholars who are experts or who have successfully pushed back against authoritarianism, they have lessons for us that we could learn from. And one of the biggest lessons is to not obey in advance, right? So before the break, you talked about how the DC police just sort of offered compliance with federal authorities in terms of immigration or a crackdown or whatever you want to call it. That is obeying in advance. They didn't have to do that, to my knowledge, right? And so that is one thing that scholars in particular warn against, because when you obey in advance, you just make it easier for the autocrat to continue to move down their path. So at every single point, you have to resist and make it harder for them. And I think we can draw upon lessons from our brothers and sisters in Hungary, our brothers and sisters in the Philippines, and folks around the world who continue to fight for their rights and democracy and the ability to have a representative government.
I think you're right. And the world is counting on us to step up and push back. You know, I mean, right. So many countries around the world know that we have a shared fate. And if Washington, D.C. is the next victim of this democratic decline, if it moves to other cities across the United States, and that spells big, big, big trouble for too many places around the country who have been doing work over the course of many years many decades, to become a democratic society.
Yeah.
And free and fair elections is the hallmark of any healthy democracy. And the fact that the sitting president of the United States has gone on the record saying that he wants to make voting in this country more difficult.
Yeah. Couple of things.
That's what getting rid of vote by mail. That's what getting rid of certain voting machines.
Yeah.
That's what that means. It means making voting more difficult.
And less accessible, right? There are some people who cannot physically go to the ballot box to vote, right? There are some people who cannot physically go because of disability, or because of an illness, or because they can't get the time off of work, because election day is not a national holiday here, right? So that is a huge issue in terms of making voting more or less accessible. I also think it's important to note that Donald Trump came out with this executive order to sort of try and ban mail-in voting, which he does not have the power to do. Let's point that out. States have the power to control how elections are run. But he did that 2 days after President Putin of Russia told him that mail-in voting was insecure and unsafe. I think that is really important to note, that our president is so gullible that he can take a comment by a dictator, by a war criminal, by a former intelligence officer who knows how to manipulate people very well, and take it as truth and run with it and make a whole executive order based off of it. That should scare every single American.
That's right. That's right. We'll have to leave it there. My thanks to Desiree Cormier-Smith, the co-founder of the Alliance for Diplomacy and Justice, who is raising so many questions that need answers. My thanks to the entire village helps us produce a more perfect union each and every day. Our executive producer, Tavis Smiley, our sound engineer, Brother Andy, our show producers, Faraji, Art, and Journey, and each and every one of you. We curate this show every day with you in mind. Remember, don't panic, organize. Do what you can from where you are with what you have, but by all means, now is the time to do something.
Do something.
I'm Dr. Nii-Quartelai Quartey. She's Desiree Cormier-Smith. This is A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580.